What is up, guys? How's it going? Today, it's a lovely day. You can see I'm back out in my favourite place, the wetlands by my house, which is absolutely fantastic. PSA, but whatever, let's get on with it. Today, you've already probably seen by the title that today we're talking about my story about how COVID-19 has kind of changed my perspective on China. It's never that I had a bad perspective on China, but there's this thing. I mean, if you've been an expat in China, you will understand for sure that it is a thing that happens or can happen. So what happened for me was that I came here to China in 2013 and I loved it. From day one, I was like, this is it. This is where I want to settle down. And so far, that is exactly what I have done. But there has been times, like when you first get here, especially living somewhere like Wenzhou, the city itself didn't really at the time have a huge foreigner population here. And so you were kind of a rarity, much more than if you went to, say, Shanghai. If you go to Shanghai, you definitely don't get stared at, except by people that usually aren't from Shanghai, because they see so many foreigners there. I think there's like a third or a quarter. Hang on, let me just get up on the boardwalk again. I went down there just to have a look at the flowers. But yeah, I think a third or a quarter of all of the foreigners in China live in Shanghai, so you don't really get any looks. When you come to Wenzhou, however, somewhere where there's like, I could be walking out in the streets for 2-3 days and not bump into another foreigner at all. So you do get kind of like this kind of, and I guess that's what was happening to me. Like I said, I never ever hated China, but I'd have days where I'd be like, God, why do people always have to do this in China? Why don't people always look where they're going in China? Why don't, why do people always point and stare and be like, hey, look, the foreigner? And it got to the point where I didn't want to leave China. I've never wanted to leave China. I've always said since I moved here that this is where I like being. This is what I wanted to do with my life, was to settle down here. And I did. And we've got to the end of the path as well, so I'm going to do a loop back around. But yeah, so I never ever got like that. But it is very easy in China, and I see it a lot with expats. They come here and everybody is exactly similar to me. Like, always not exactly the same, but similar kind of circumstances. After a while, things start to grate on you because you become kind of almost a little bit fed up. And if you're a foreigner, it's just red tape, and there's constant stuff which you need to do, like registering places, a lot of hassle and form filling. I don't mean like I was really angry all the time. Like I said, it wasn't really like a strong case of it for me. But COVID-19 kind of changed everything for me. It kind of made me, I think exactly changed everything for me. It made me love China again, and that is simply because I saw the kindness of people. I saw people bounding together, you know, everybody looking out for each other, kind of reset me, showed me how actually nice China. But I kind of, like, now I've been really appreciating going out. I've been like chatting with the locals. Like, a lot of the time I've got to a point where I just don't, I don't get offended, I don't get upset by, like, I'm never upset, but I don't get annoyed by being stared at now. It's just, it's part of China. It really is part of being in China. As a foreigner, when you really aren't, there aren't many of you here, many of us here, and yeah, it's just kind of, it's not like I hate the West either, before anybody says that. I still am a proud British man. I have my South African family, I have my family from Germany. I'm proud of everything. So I don't think it was ever negativity towards my passion and like everything I enjoy about living in China. And